Hi, it's Dinara. I'm a social sciences and business student at Minerva University. In this video, I will cover the application process to Minerva and share my 5 top tips on how to do your best. The application process to Minerva is entirely different from all other US universities. You don't submit your SATs or ACTs, and there's no common app essay. So, how do you get in? In this video, I will tell you all about it. The application to Minerva consists of 3 parts: your academic transcript, challenges that you take on the website, and up to 6 accomplishments that you are proud of. Now, the academic transcript is pretty straightforward, so let's talk about the challenges. The challenges test your skills such as math, writing, creative thinking, abstract thinking, your ability to express yourself quickly on the spot. You take them in the application portal on Minerva that records everything that you do throughout the whole process, so there's no way to cheat. Completing all challenges takes up to 3 hours, but you can start on one day and finish them on another. It's different from the standardized test because the challenges are very fast-paced. You almost can't finish it until the next one starts. They also don't test what you know, they test how you think. Meanwhile, the accomplishments ask you to reflect on what impact you have created in your life thus far and explain why it was important for you. It took me about a month of journaling about my life to figure out what I want to write about in my accomplishments. So in a way, it can be an interesting process of introspection. You submit all parts of the application on the Minerva website. It costs $0. And in a way, as nerve-wracking as it is, it can also be kind of fun. So now let's get into the specific tips on how to do it successfully. Tip number 1, be honest. With every accomplishment you submit, you will have to provide proof of completion. You will also need to provide a contact of a person who can confirm what you've done. Some people who got admitted into Minerva, they started their own companies, they ran NGOs, and even interviewed presidents. It can be daunting. But it's not about that. The most important part about accomplishments is that it's things that you are proud of, and you talk about the impact that you have created for your community. Remember that as much as Minerva is choosing you, you are also choosing Minerva. So be honest. Because if you pretend that you're someone you're not on your application, even if you get accepted, it means that Minerva will not be the perfect match for you. Tip number 2, practice coming up with cohesive responses fast and talking to the camera. One challenge Minerva has is called expression. You'll be given a prompt and about 45 seconds to come up with a good response to that prompt. Under pressure, with the timer ticking off on the screen, it can be really difficult and nerve-wracking. So practice beforehand. Look up prompts that are about disagreeing or agreeing with a statement. Look up conversation starters. Time yourself and record yourself on your laptop when you talk. This way you will become familiar with the process and it will be easier for you in the application. Tip number 3, quantify. Did you win a competition? Note how many participants were in that competition, how many hours it took you every week to prepare for that, how many years you were reaching for that goal. Did you make a YouTube video that raised awareness about an issue that you really care about? Talk about how many views it got, how many people reached out to you, how many comments are under that video. This way you will be able to illustrate each accomplishment qualitatively, meaning explaining your purpose behind it, and also quantitatively, which is more objective. Tip number 4, include personal accomplishments. Growing a garden, performing on stage, taking care of a family member. All of these are valid, valuable stories that show your character. I'm sure you've got a lot of academic achievements under your belt, but the truth is, most applicants do. And Minerva specifically asks not to focus on academics in the accomplishments part. One of the things that I wrote about was growing my garden. I talked about how many hours I put after school every day, helping my dad, working with my dad to take care of the garden, looking after the trees, looking after the bushes, and making sure that the whole ecosystem was running smoothly. Now, every year, we have apples and pears and raspberries and onions and potatoes, all of these things that come from the garden directly to our table. I didn't get any medals or grades for that, but I still wrote about it because it means the world to me. What means the world to you? Tip number 5. Take IQ and abstract thinking tests online before your application. The ones that focus on colors and shapes and finding patterns among things. As I told you, Minerva doesn't test what you know, it tests how you think. So you can't memorize the perfect essay structure, and you can't memorize the most effective, fastest way to read a text like with the SATs. But what you can do is practice how your brain tackles problems, like with chess. I took a few abstract thinking tests before getting into the challenges part of the application so that I could get used to them. I'm sure it will be useful for you too to get familiar with them. To recap this lesson, make sure that Minerva gets to know the real you and start reflecting on experiences that were meaningful in your life and that you're really proud of. It does not matter if they sound prestigious or not. Practice your ability to speak on camera and come up with good arguments fast. Add numbers to your accomplishments. Take a few abstract reasoning tests online to become familiar with them. And most importantly, try to relax and have fun, because in the process, you will get to learn more about yourself, and that can be very interesting. You've got this. If you want to delve deeper into your accomplishments or the challenges part, book a private tutoring session with me and we'll go over that. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson and good luck with everything.